going? Wonderful. So everyone's pressing. Oh, I'm so excited to invite you tonight to Creating a Bright Future with my beautiful, fabulous friend, Hilary Finch. Hello, Hilary.
Hi, Louise.
Hi, all my friends online. So wonderful to have you join us tonight. Right at the beginning of May, it's only the 4th of May, and what a marvellous month we have to look forward to, and a marvellous guest speaker tonight. So Hilary, I just wanted to share a little bit about you, and then I will hand over to you for this evening. And at the end, you could maybe, well, we're your co-host, so I'll probably be able to come back at the end and just summarise a couple of key takeaways. So first of all, Hilary joined Nutriomedics when she was working in the Commonwealth Bank. Oh my goodness. And that was when she was 26 years ago. So Hilary, I've worked out that could have been 2 years ago, or maybe 12 or more years ago, maybe a few more. I did ask Hilary for some of her highlights over her Nutriomedics career, and Hilary has shared with me there have been so many highlights, but she clearly remembers and being so excited when she did her first $1 million year with her team of managers and group leaders and consultants and VIPs. Another highlight was Queen of Seminar in Las Vegas. And Hilary, I remember that seminar so well. It was absolutely incredible. Enjoyed every moment. And not only were we treated like the rich and the famous, we felt like the rich and the famous being in Las Vegas and going to all the casinos. And another highlight for Hilary, in her words, is all the trips. In other words, everyone that she's come in contact with as due to Nutriomedics, as being a part of Nutriomedics, and particularly her marvellous team that I know she loves and appreciates and wants to party with in the future so much more. I know that travelling is a real highlight for Hilary and her beautiful husband, Richard. The two boys, no, they didn't come travelling to the seminars. However, I do remember them sneaking into one, as I remember my youngest son, Adam, sneaking into that same one. And we met Rick Heath in the lift. and Rick Heath was our CEO of the time. And he had no idea that the children had to be hidden or made invisible on seminars. So that was very good. 11 new cars Hilary has earned over those 32 years. And I want you to think for a moment of how much money that has saved Hilary and Richard as a family over those years. Comprehensive insurance, all the registration paid, new car with new tyres, obviously, Louise. However, just think that's another set of tyres that go for the 70,000 kilometres or whatever you get out of your tyres, Hilary. My sons tell me that my tyre wear could be improved if I took it a little slower around the roundabout. But sometimes it doesn't matter if the tyres wear a tiny little bit. We'll get them swapped over. And Hilary mentioned that she doesn't remember the bank giving her any of those sort of rewards. It's just the words of Hilary this afternoon were, Nutriomedics is so relevant in the year 2023. And with that, I have asked Hilary to share a little bit of her story herself and a lot of her processes of sponsoring and filtering those people, putting them in the funnel, seeing where they want to be and how she works with her team. And I have to say, Hilary, I believe that sponsoring and working with your team, as well as bookings, as well as selling, as well as training, they're all your fortes. but sponsoring is something that I know you have totally mastered. So over to you, my gorgeous friend, Hilary Finch.
Thank you, Louise. That's awesome. So I'm just going to see if I can make myself, there we go. So hi, everybody across Australia. So exciting. Big thank you to Adam and Louise for this amazing once a month training. And before we start, I just want to share something that happened to me yesterday. I was in the supermarket doing a quick dash and I bumped into Emma, who used to work for Nutromedics at head office. And she lives quite near me. And we had said quick hello. We're both sort of darting around. And she said, how's Nutromedics? I said, good, really good. And she said, I've got to ask you, because she works for another direct selling company now. She says, how do you stay motivated? That was her question to me. And we're in the supermarket and just, you know, in the aisles as you do. And what she said was, how do you stay motivated? And I said, oh, that's really easy, Emma. I stay motivated because the income's important to me. So that's number one for me. And since day one, the income has been important to me. And number two is that my team keeps me motivated. With a team, I find I am working to be my best for my team all the time. So they're the two things that keep me motivated, the income and my team, because I really want to offer them the best support and nurturing and mentoring and have the most up-to-date, information for them and to be prompt. So it was really interesting that Emma just hit me with that in the supermarket aisle. So maybe ask yourself what keeps you motivated or what's your motivation. So tonight I'm going to cover a little bit of my story. I might actually do the chicken story, which I'm semi-famous for. We'll see if we get time. Why I love sponsoring. That's really something I wanted to talk about. And just about, you don't have to be a particular sort of person or have particular personality traits to sponsor and build a team. And I really want to cover that. Give you some words that I use when I'm sponsoring people and joining them up, and how to close the sale. So how to ask those questions to get the results, to get people joining up, and what to do once you've sponsored them. So I hope that's helpful. I can't actually see the questions, unfortunately. So I apologize.
Excuse me, Hilary. There's a few people in the waiting room coming in, trying to get in. I don't want them to miss your presentation. So if you can, Louise, accept them, please. This is Lena Winship talking.
Hey, Lena.
Hello. Sorry to interrupt. There's people in the waiting room trying to get in. There's about 3 that I know of. It's in the chat.
So I can't see Louise. You might have to text Louise.
Yeah, I have already.
Yeah, she'll come to it, and they can. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt. Just they're waiting.
Right. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
That's okay. No problem. Thank you.
So I'll keep going. Lovely to hear your voice. So as I was saying to Louise, I really believe Nutromedics is so relevant in today's world. And it's when I joined, it was, oh, great, Shannon, I can see a comment, welcome. It is very relevant. So I want to share a little bit about my story, but I'm really going to focus on the sponsoring side of that because that's my focus. And so I was working in the Commonwealth Bank, 2 children in childcare, crazy, hours, no flexibility when I was in the bank. I was getting promoted all the time, doing well. However, so, it was an interesting time, but my vision for my life did not include me working full time and sort of dropping my kids to daycare and having someone pick them up from school. That wasn't my vision. And, Nutromedics had sparked my interest many times. And then I really went, okay, this is it. I'm going to give this a go because I don't want to be here at this brick building every day for the rest of my life and never had anything. And Nutromedics it really offered me the trips in the car and the income that was my vision for my life before I even knew about Nutrimetics. So, you know, it really ticked all those boxes, which my bank job didn't. Plus the flexibility, plus the women, the glamorous women with the great clothes and lovely makeup and all those things. It was a group I wanted to be a part of. I wanted what they had, you know, and have. So it really sparked my interest. And, you know, working full-time was a hard gig, and I know a lot of you do that. And I see women working full-time now and managing the family, you know, and doing all those things, and they're wearing themselves out and they're unwell and they're unhappy. And Nutrimetics really offers a great alternative there with our story, that people can work around and build a business. And that, I was told when I was getting started, all happens when you sponsor. So my story really was about sponsoring, and I wanted life balance. I wanted the life that my upline had. She seemed to have a lot of time. I'm pretty sure she didn't, but she was in charge of her own time, and that's the difference. So for me, my story was, how do I get out of the bank? I was desperate. And so I worked really hard to do that. Here's another thing. I actually joined 3 times before that last time. So 3 times I joined. That's crazy, right? So what does that tell you? People weren't following through or connecting with me or telling me what was available, because if they had, I may have been in their team. So, you know, or the last time I rejoined the same person, so maybe I wasn't listening. I don't know. So I'm a big fan of rejoining people and giving them that information again. And we'll talk about what the information is. So that was something that really stuck with me as well, learning from my story. Yeah, so another part of that story was when I was a manager and I wanted to move up to sales director, I started seeing a mentor, a Nutrimetics mentor. And when I went there, she said to me, so tell me about your business. And I was like, oh, okay, I've got this pregnant lady. She's really, you know, really excited to build her business. So when she has a baby, she can stay home. And I've got this other girl. She said, why are you telling me this? And I'm like, because you asked me about my business. And she said, no, I don't want to know any of that. There's only one thing I want to know that will be the crucial part of your business. I want to know how many people you sponsored last month and what you did with every single person. So that was a key learning for me as part of my story, is how many did I sponsor and what did I do with every single person? And, you know, at that first meeting, I couldn't even tell her their names. You know, I had it at home, but I didn't have it. And I was taught to write the numbers 1 to 10 in my diary at the top on the last day of the month. And I needed 10 sponsors. Now that was like in the early 2000s. So, you know, now I would say 20, but we'll get to that. So how many people did you sponsor last month is a really good question to ask yourself. And what did you do with each person? And I suggest that you put that in your Outlook as a reminder on the first day of every month, or you write that in your diary or your calendar, however you diarize things, so that yourself do a little self-assessment and going, how many did I sponsor and what did I do with each person? That's a really key learning I had from my journey in Nutrimetics. So I just wanted to share with that. And I think also really powerful is your own story. So having a little think back, where, you know, taking some time and thinking back and going, what have I learned? How was my journey? And what were the key or the turning points in my journey? Because they're often what you need to share with people who are attracted to your business and to you, because they may have similar situations. So, you know, what was your story? What is your story? And, you know, having a look and a little think about, what are some of the key learnings from your story so far? So let's talk about why I love sponsoring. I have a whole page here, right? I wrote a special page for why I love sponsoring. I'm really apologize for the light on my glasses. Sorry about that. So have you heard about WIFM? WIFM, what's in it for me? Now, sponsoring is all about a win-win. So just to start with, we all know the benefits, or maybe I'm going to recap the benefits for a new person. And, you know, those benefits start with the discount, free gifts, beauty classes, 24/7 ordering, online training and mentoring and coaching, not just on beauty and skincare and makeup, also on self-development through programs like this one that Adam and Louise run. Oh, did I say free shipping? Free website that's maintained by Nutrimetics. You know, no need for you to be doing all that maintenance. And of course, the opportunity. So Nutrimetics really, the new person, new rewards, there's so much in this for them. So let's talk about what's in it for us and why would we sponsor? Because the new person is going to be in a winning situation anyway. And sometimes we just have to ask, you know, we need to know in our hearts, why are we sponsoring? Well, number one for me, it's the right thing to do. That person is getting a discount. I'm also putting them in the funnel, as we say, and they have the opportunity to take this VIP membership wherever they want to go. And, you know, so for me, that's the number one thing. It's the best I can offer my customer, a new person, and, you know, a new contact, a new client, a website order, whatever. It's the best way. So you know, that for me is the number one thing. Number two, which you might not think at the time, but it frees me up to have more time. So whether I choose to spend that time working on my business or in my social life or with my family, having a team of people who are independently ordering frees up my time. Now, I can use that to double down on my business, or I can use that, like I was saying, as free time. Why does it free up my time? Because those people don't need me to order and I'm getting paid even though they're ordering. So, you know, I look at that as it gives me more time. And, you know, I really think when you start to think about that and go, wow. And I live in Sydney. So doing deliveries is, for me to go to Penrith, which is 50-minute drive out of peak hour, it's a $18 toll each way. So why would I do that? I mean, I do go out there and I do face-to-face and things like that, but I'm not going to do that to do a delivery. So I love that so I sponsor people because they get it quicker than waiting for me to drive out there. Frees up. Not only is it the cost of the tolls, it's the time it would take me to get there. So I do love people having their own account. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but really important to me is having my time is really important to me, and I do get overwhelmed, and that is not a nice place to be for people who, and I know a lot of us get overwhelmed. So when I have time to calmly I'd rather spend 15 minutes or talking, you know, giving 4 people 15 minutes of my time on the phone than driving to Penrith. Yes, I could do that in the car, but I'm home, I can have a cup of tea, I can concentrate on what I'm doing. That's what I need. That's my personality trait, is I need to not be overwhelmed and carried by lots of things going on. So we're going to talk about that as well. So why is sponsoring important to me? It gives me sick pay, holiday pay, because when I'm not working, my team is ordering or working. So, you know, it's important to me also to have even results every month. I don't want a month where I go on holidays and I pay a car payment, for example. I don't want that. To me, it doesn't make sense. So I want a team that when I'm on holidays, my car is looked after. I don't have to worry about a car payment because I've gone on holidays, or, you know, it's Christmas or Easter, you know, all the holidays we had in April, you know, my car payment is done through my team. So that's really important to me. I want that certainty. Consistent business results. and it's important that they're the same. I do love to nurture and develop people. I really do love that. I really love to help them problem solve, things that pop up in their personality traits or in their lifestyle. Helen Lawson is someone I met 16 years ago, and Helen was living in a tiny little house right then with 5 adults, and she said, I can't make phone calls from home because it's too busy at my house. So we brainstormed and we came up with this idea that she would, if she was driving home from a party, she'd stop 10 minutes from home and sit in her car for 15 minutes and make phone calls, because when she got home, there was no way she was going to make those phone calls. So I love problem solving. I love nurturing with my team to help them come up with solutions to get the results they want. Of course, for me, why do I love sponsoring? I love the company cars. So 11 company cars. I'm waiting on my 11th to be delivered. I just achieved it earlier this year, coming sometime soon. The delay with cars at the moment. So that's fine. I'm happily driving the car I already had, but 11 company cars, that's amazing. Love it. Overseas trips to over 30 different countries. And that trip to Las Vegas was exceptional because we did a pre and a post option. We were in San Francisco, and then we went to Mexico, to Acapulco, and we had a spectacular time. That was incredible. And our hotel room, Louise said we were treated like royalty. In our hotel room, we had 2 bathrooms. So we had his and her bathrooms. It was an incredible seminar. And San Fran, one of my favorites, and Acapulco. I mean, let's face it, nobody goes there, but it was incredible. So the trips. Now, you don't get any of this without sponsoring. Okay. And I know you know this, but I want to just reinforce it. I'm just checking my list of things that I love about Nutrimetics. Nurturing and developing others. About sponsoring, but sponsoring gives you all that Nutrimetics promises comes from sponsoring, not from selling, from sponsoring and teaching them to sponsor. So all the goodies, all the great things come from sponsoring. So I just need you to understand that. Now, I know you kind of know that, but next thing we've got to talk about is how do we make this happen? And what are the blockages maybe that are going on for you? And I'd really hope that you would finish this call and book a one-on-one with your manager. Now, that's something in my story. I was the perpetual one-on-one person. Every month, every week, whenever it was offered, I was there because I needed to learn. This whole Nutrimetics is a skill set of its own. It's like being a journalist. That's a skill set. And a paper journalist is different to an online journalist, is different to a TV journalist. With Nutrimetics, we are different to, say, a beauty therapist. We have a different skill set. So you need to do whatever it takes to learn those skills. And I was prepared, especially free mentorship from your upline, book those one-on-ones. And if they're not offering them, just ring and say, can I please have a one-on-one? And I have another little story, and Helen won't mind me saying this, but Helen is a busy personality. And she would say to me, I don't have time to do a one-on-one. And I say, Helen, you don't have time not to do a one-on-one. I'm going to save you time. I'm going to make you more efficient. Having this hour and a half with me is going to help. So Helen and I do that still today, every single month. At least once a month, we have a one-on-one for a couple of hours, usually 2 or 3 hours. And, Helen comes to my house and we just get right into the nuts and bolts. So I really recommend that. Big thing from my career and my story is taking advantage of that one-on-one mentor coaching business training. And the thing about sponsoring is that I've discovered it allows you to build a business working with your personality. So you don't have to do it my way or Louise's way, but you do have a sponsor and there's some structure there that you can follow, but you can use your personality because we're all different. Agreed? So here's some personality traits that I see everywhere. So here, I want you to think about this. Are you a night owl? or are you a morning person? So I'm a morning person. So I have to get used to my night owls are going to message me all night, but they know I'm not going to answer them till the morning because I'm the morning person. It doesn't make me a bad sponsor or a bad upline. It just means I say, girl, you're a night owl. I'm a morning person. I'll answer you in the morning. They go, that's fine. We're up. We're sending you messages. I go, great. But working with our personality. So are you a night owl? I know Louise is a night owl. I know Julie Diamond is a night owl because I've roomed with her many of times. And I'll wake up in the night and she's, doing push-ups or painting her nails or something, and I've been sound asleep. So I know there's lots of successful sponsors in Nutrimetics who are night owls. That's fine. And there's lots of morning people as well. Are you someone who doesn't sit still? So that's my Helen Lawson. She's on the go. I love it. That's fantastic. If you're on the go, you can make this work. And, if you're a busy on the go type person, the thing about sponsoring is that it frees up more time for you to do other things. So Helen's the person you'll see running past you on the beach when we're on seminar because she's got to have a run every day, which is amazing. That's her personality trait. But by sponsoring, it frees her up to even have a swim as well because she gets more time because she doesn't have to do as much customer servicing, as much delivering. So, if you're a busy person, sponsoring is really good. Oh, Lena's a night owl. I love it. See, it's, are you an online person or do you prefer face-to-face? Oh, we're going to get to the introverted and shy. Or we're going to get to that. Are you super generous? Do you give everything away? Well, sponsoring means that they're ordering for themselves and they're paying for their order. So you can't go broke giving them everything. Now, if you're super generous, I've got a big tip for you. You must tick the box that says, hold all my commission till the end. You must do that, okay? Talk to your upline. So super generous is a beautiful trait. These are all beautiful traits. There's no right or wrong here. But I just want to share with you that it doesn't matter what the personality.
I saw it. Yeah.
Do you like it?
I
It's
love
on your
it.
profile.
Oh, I can hear someone talking. Do you love skincare or makeup or both? Now, that's really interesting, and it's absolutely fine. You can build a business loving them either. You love both, Leonie. Well, I remember a young Adam Buchner saying, and Louise tells this story, saying, I'm just going to do skincare. And wise Louise said, lie on me. Thank you. Louise said, well, Adam, you'll lose half your business if you just focus on one. So if you're a skincare person, you need to just go to every makeup masterclass and learn your makeup skills. That was me. I had to learn the makeup skills. But I've done zillions of weddings throughout my career, and I do a pretty damn good makeup for a bride wedding party. So, but I had to actually knuckle down and learn. So are you both? Okay. Or are you super organized? Or are you a hot mess? It doesn't matter because the people you sponsor are going to love you, and all they care about is that you love them back and that you're thinking of them first. So as long as and the thing about sponsoring is we have a structure, and Natalie talked about this a couple of months ago. We have a few steps to follow, and it doesn't matter whether you do them in order or whether you do them at midnight or at 6 a.m. It doesn't matter about when you do the steps. It's just about that you do them. So if you're sitting there going, I'm so disorganized, how am I ever going to get this off the ground? It's okay. It's okay. We can make this happen. This can happen. So are you structured or organic? So you like to go with the flow and, things create things on the move, or do you like structured and you know where things come from? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So are you identifying with any of these personality traits? Are you shy or outgoing? There's one. And, if you're organic, you don't need, I'm going to share with you my text, but it's a structured text. And I know my good friend Lisa Hall, her texts are very organic and relaxed, but she gets the same results. So it's okay, working with your personality is key. And we say this online and through social media is to be authentic. So whatever you're messaging or emailing has to reflect your personality. Oh, here's a good one. Do you love doing things last minute? That's okay. Because as long as it gets done, it doesn't matter when. So if you like getting things done last minute, and do you get overwhelmed? So that's me. So then I fall into back on my structure and having my time so that I can cope with being overwhelmed. And I'm not naturally, I know this may come as shock to you, not really. I'm not naturally a super positive person. However, my self-development through Nutrimetics and my personal development through Nutrimetics classes has really switched that. And that's one of the things I do love. And I'm a bit like a reformed smoker now. I'm super positive, so I annoy people because I'm too positive. But, you know, when I'm that personality, we can work with all of them. So I just wanted you to think about that. If you get overwhelmed or you're shy, you can use online messaging, or however your new VIP or new consultant wants to be contacted, to contact them. You don't actually have to be talking, or you can arrange face-to-face. So we can work with your personality. So I want you to relax and go, sponsoring's not for me because I'm not like Louise, or I'm not like Lena Winship, or Mimi, Carboni, I'm not like them, so I can't do it. Yes, you can. Because I think if you sat and chatted to those women, you'll find that their personality, they have, you know, worked with that to get where they're going. So there are many successful people in Nutrimetics with the rainbow of personality traits that I've talked about. They just have one thing in common, these successful business people, and that is they all sponsor on purpose, back to back, as part of their monthly plan. That's what they have in common, is they all sponsor on purpose, back to back, and it's part of their monthly work plan. So take that on board and go, right, I'm adding to my monthly work plan. So one of the things I did when I was working the bank, I had a list of what I had to do for my job. So I had a list of you know, activities that I had to do every week, every month for my job. So it made it really easy because I just look at that and go, yes, done that. So with Nutrimetics, I created one for myself, and it's through Sonia at Sonia's training, Sonia Wilbo, the Sell 4,000, Sponsor 5, help 3 people get their rewards. That thing became my work plan. And I've, as we all have since COVID and the zero join, I've upped the numbers. That's all on the sponsoring and activity. Oh, you work for the bank too. Yeah, so it's just having a work plan. And when I have a work plan, I go, oh, I've got to sponsor this many. That's part of my job description for this month. Okay, I better do that. Now, if you want to spread it evenly over the month, or you want to do it all on the last day, it doesn't matter, as long as you're doing your work plan. Yeah, does that make sense? So, tip, please note, there is no end game to sponsoring. It's a bit like parenting. You don't get to the end. So what happens is sponsoring happens every single month. So become a sales director, sponsoring still happens every single month. Achieve the trip to Madrid, sponsoring still needs to happen once that target, like end of June. We don't get to July and stop sponsoring. We keep going. That's the tip I have for you. There is no end game. Sponsoring happens every single day and every single month. That's important. And because of our different personalities, it's really good to listen to classes like this and get input from different personalities so that you then can, you know, take on board what suits you. So become a great student and listen to everybody. That's a really good one. And I know you know these things. Okay, so now let's talk some more. So I hope that was helpful, because sometimes we don't work with our personality and we go, right, I'm going to be sponsored my 5 or 10 or whatever your number is, and I'm going to be super structured and I'm going to do this at the same time every day, and that lasts for 3 days, and then we go, we have failed at sponsoring. No, it's just that you're not working with your personality. Okay, It's not that you can't sponsor or you're no good at it. It's just that you're trying to do it in a way that does not work with your personality traits. Yeah. So just wanted to put that out there, because I do get people going, oh, I've tried sponsoring, but it doesn't work for me. And I think, why are they saying that? Okay. And I think it's because they're trying to be professional, and they're, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. So when I worked full time, 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock, because this was pre-internet, I would do phone calls. So everyone had dinner, kids were bathed, mostly in bed. When they were little, I would do my phone calls. So, that worked for my personality. But come 8 o'clock, it's like, no more. I couldn't do later. So why do people say yes, and why do people join? Looking at my time. First of all, it's about your attitude to them joining. And I would love you to remove any doubt from your mind that sponsoring them is not the best option. It is the best option. It is the best option. And if you're not seeing results, you've been sponsoring, if you're not seeing results yet, I'm going to ask you to trust your upline, and maybe have a little check-in with them and say, look, I'm doing this, but it's not working. And first of all, I want to ask you to check for yourself, are you sponsoring every single month? Or did you sponsor in November and say in March, and you're saying it's not working? Because one of the keys is to sponsor every single month, because you get this flow on. Okay. Oh, thanks, Lena. So you need to trust your upline and ask yourself, am I sponsoring every month? Be honest with yourself, okay? And are you following a process with every new person? Remember that mentor of mine who I happen to be paying to mentor me, saying, who have you sponsored, and what have you done with each person? And by the way, don't come back unless you sponsor 10. I won't see you unless you sponsor 10 in this month. So next month's meeting is not happening unless you sponsor 10. Anyway, that person did me a big favor. So these are the 2 questions. Are you sponsoring every single month? And what have you done with every single person? And I know we get a little bit awkward about following these people up and, how to approach them. So we will talk about that. So where do you find people to sponsor? First of all, beauty workshops, lead generation, events, masterclasses, facials. Now, I do this quite regularly, is when a new product's launched, and we've just launched a new product, the Platinum Night Rejuvenation Face Oil. I'm going to be sending out a message saying, we've just launched a new product, and Nutrimedics have asked me to trial it on 10 people. I would love, can I tempt you to pop over to my house for a gorgeous pampering facial treatment to test this out? There'll be a couple of questions, a little questionnaire, a little feedback form. Can I tempt you? Now, they're Jenny Miles' words, can I tempt you? So I will aim to do 10 of those in the month of May. That's 10 new sponsors. So they can be people in your phone, they can be people who are on your social media. So, have a little scroll down and go, who would I ask? Now, one of the things I love to do is give first and then ask. So I'm giving them a treatment, and then I'm saying the words that I will say, and I'll show you those, to encourage them to become a VIP. And who wouldn't want to be a VIP? Let's face it. So facials and rejoining previous consultants who've been in your team, because remember, yours truly joined 3 times. And wouldn't you be kicking yourself if the first 2 times, if you knew me from the first 2 times and I did $1 million a year, you'd be kicking yourself that you hadn't spent the time to go over things with that person. Okay, so all those places are where you can meet people to sponsor. I want another tip or another note from Hilary. I take the first order. So if they come and do that rejuvenation night oil facial, anything they order on that day is my order, and I will do the VIP consultant for them, and I will do the process from them. So I always say, and with the VIP, you get 20% off anything after this day. So that's really important because I need my personal sales. Okay, so I know Louise does that as well. So just a little tip there. So, oh, can you hear that in the background? Sorry. Okay, let's talk about asking for the order. I think I can hear Richard. I think I can hear my husband's telling. Asking for the order. Okay, it's very important that you ask everyone. And I even say, I'm asking everyone, this is such a great offer, I have to ask you. So I even say that, I'm asking everyone. So I let them know I'm going to ask them. Okay. And don't presume or budget for people. So never sort of go, oh, she's got everything, she won't want to be a VIP, or she's just, got redundancy, she won't want to buy anything. Don't presume or budget for people. Really big mistake. And I want you to think Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. And if you don't know what that is because you're not, you're too young, I need you to Google it, because big mistake. Do not budget for people. So recently at one of my masterclasses, I had one of my customers come along and she spent over $300. And she said to me, this woman's late 60s, avid golfer, lovely, lovely woman, has always bought hand cream from me, and that's about it. Came to the makeup masterclass, and over $300 she purchased. And she said to me, last time I did this, updated my makeup, it cost me over $700. So this is the person who only ever bought hand cream off me. So don't prejudge, don't budget. People are spending money on themselves, on what we offer. Interesting, isn't it? Love that. Love. Thank you, Penny, for coming along to my masterclass. So when I'm sponsoring, or I always have packs made up, and I know Adam and Louise do this as well, and I'm sure a lot of you do. When I have a pack or I'm talking to someone about joining, I ask, in my head, I'm thinking, is this logical? Because if it's kind of just out of the blue or not logical, I think it jars with people. So I really aim to make it part of the whole presentation and very logical. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to do that. So that's something I always try and ask myself. And when I put a pack together, I want a pack that delivers what it says it's going to deliver, and do what it promises. Is the VIP, logical? And it is. It's a very logical step for people to become a VIP. And, I can't read that, Lena, sorry. And I always ask myself, how would you feel if everybody else got offered the VIP and you didn't? So I think it's really important that you offer it to everybody, whether you're going with the $20 option or the zero join, offering it to every single person is crucial, because you don't know who you're going to miss out. And I'm often surprised at not the join, but also the results I get, and who's the one who is more active, and might not be the person I predicted in my head. Never is. So I cover a business talk and a VIP talk separately at every single presentation, whatever it is, facial with one-on-one right the way through. Now, when I'm doing a facial, it might be while I'm working. When I'm doing a master class, it's very chatty and it's not very targeted. It's very sort of relaxed, and it might come up because someone said they're working long hours or juggling babysitting. That might trigger me to talk about the business talk. Or, someone might say, oh, I saw your car out the front, or, whatever. That will trigger me to talk about the business. And in that, I just talk about the business, and then the VIP and just being a home shopper or accessing it from that level. where with the aim of converting them to doing more, I do that at the end and I tie that in with their order form. And I use the assumed close. Now, when you're asking for the order, I know this is can be tricky, can be sort of an awkward time. I want you to Google sales pitch closes, because there's pages and pages on them, and there's really only a few different types, but the most common is the assumed close. And that is, okay, so I'll put you down for the VIP consultant at the same time. That's assuming they're going to say yes. That is the perfect way. And if you've done a nice little, hey, the VIP, this is what you get. It's, you know, it's so good. What I love about Nutrimetics VIP, and I'm speaking from the heart here and I say this, is that you get benefits every single time you order. You don't have to wait and accumulate points and get a $5 voucher on your birthday, but you've got to spend $3,000 to claim your $5 voucher. No, with Nutrimetics, you get your 20% discount on every single order over $55 every single time. And people go, really? I go, yeah, you don't have to, you know, and I've been on a bit of a thing where I've been collecting apps. So I've got the Baker's Delight app and the Coffee Club app and a couple of others. I've just McDonald's app. So just watching what activities I have to do to earn that free coffee or that free loaf of bread. And I know it's not that much, but in Nutrimetics, we don't make you do that. We just go, you get 20% off. So it's an amazing, amazing club to be a part of from that point of view. And I tell people this. So, and they go, oh, really? I said, so imagine if Deck Juba, great clothing company, said 20% off. We would all be doing that, wouldn't we? Country Road, who else? You know, we would be just going, okay, sign me up. Here's my $20. Here's your free product and lovely t-shirt for $20 for signing up from Deck Juba, and you get 20% off forever. They don't do that. Oh, what they do is you have to accumulate points. It's so amazingly generous, and I really want you to understand that and share that with people, because when people are saying no to you, I don't want to be a Nutrimetics VIP, it's because it's not logical or they don't understand. And explaining to them that we have 40,000 consultants in Australia who just order for themselves and make those savings at the VIP level. And they go, really? Oh, okay. Do you think they're a bit nervous that they might be, you know, put in a pipeline where they're asked to do more? Yes, we do present them with more options. However, that's up to them if they take that up. Oh, I'm going to hear them. Oh, there it is on my face. Sorry. So the assumed close, and I really, if you're asking people, hey, can I add the VIP to your order? And they're saying no, you really need to talk to your upline about that, because it's all in the delivery. Now, my order form I use at everything has a tick box for the VIP. Across the top, it's got name, address, email, date of birth, and they fill that in before they even get to the bottom where it says tick here to be a VIP. So I don't even have to ask them for their date of birth. It's all on my order form. It's ready to go. And I'm sure a lot of you are doing that as well. But if you're new, you might not be aware of that. So get your upline's order form or your presidential directors or whatever. Yeah, similar to what I know Adam and Liz Tester use at their masterclasses. So, okay, action pack. What do we do once we sign them up? So really, if people are saying no to you, I really need to talk about, I mean, I'm happy to talk to you, word choices, how you're setting that flow up into, hey, would you like me to add the VIP to this order for you? You'll get an email, you'll get a login, I give you a little action pack. So you get a little goodie bag from me, and you can take this with you and have a little browse. And also, if you'd like, take it into work. And, you know, you might be surprised how many people know and love Nutrimetics might want to have a look. So in your action pack, I have got the latest brochure, and I've got the rewards flyer. So I just print that off. I have got 2 samples in here. I usually have 3. I usually have the Nutritrol as well. So the microdermabrasion and the Irina oil are in here. And it's got my business card on the front so that they can have my contact details. And I'll say, yeah, so with your free VIP, I'll give you a little goodie bag. And yeah, I'll be in touch with you. Just make sure you get that email with your login details. So that's kind of my transition. So they get an action pack. Now, if I'm not face-to-face with them, I post that. And I put it in the bag. I just put it all in an envelope and I post it because they're not getting a brochure. And I have a little saying, and that is Aldi still prints a brochure. And if Aldi are printing a brochure, they must work. Hey, do you agree? So give people a brochure, invest in that brochure. I text them to connect. And I say, thank you for opening your Nutrix VIP account. I don't say welcome. I say, I changed that just recently or in the last 2 years to thank you. And because it's a personal thank you from me, I'm not the company. The company is sending welcome emails. I want to say thank you because it's important to me and I want them to know that. So I'll read my text, but I will share it with Louise. Please check you received an email with your details and in brackets, let me know if it hasn't arrived yet. Ordering is easy and fun. Just use your consultant number and go to, and I've got the website that they need to go to. Excitingly, you are eligible for new person rewards, yay, and see the pic below. And so lovely to connect with you. Talk soon, Hilary. So it's just really short and sweet. And I aim to send that as soon as I've put through their account because I'll be getting an email. So around that time, so that they're kind of reminded and it's all happy. Now that might be a text, it might be a Facebook message, it might be a WhatsApp message, it might, it could be all a variety, however. But it's not an email. I don't do the email. I do send that as a message that's sort of short and to the point. I hope this is helping, ladies. I offer them a facial. I want to connect with them again. I want to build a relationship. And I know the people who order in my team historically are people I've connected with and I have a relationship with. And at that facial, I'm really aiming to book them in for a rewards party. And I do rewards parties online or face-to-face. Now, the online ones are so simple. And, I love getting them to their 500, 300, 500 rewards. And I've just done an online party. So I love that. And so I offer both. And I find when people are time poor, that works really well. I find reasons to stay connected. So I try not to put all the things I need to do in the one message, in the one contact. I try and chunk it down and go, right, I'm checking if they got their email. Then when she comes back to me, I go, oh, hey, remember you get a free facial? Wondering when you'd like to schedule that in. So I kind of chunk the communication down. I don't want to hit them with this big, long list of things to do because if they're easily overwhelmed, if they're on the move, if they're any of those personality traits that, are going to miss that, it's all too much. And that's a skill that I had to learn because I'm big, like, here's the list, have a look. And I want to say something I learned really early as well is that communication is the responsibility of the person communicating. So communication is the responsibility of the person communicating. So what that means is it's not acceptable to say, well, I told her, but she didn't listen. That's not acceptable because the way you communicated wasn't received. So we have to adapt a little bit and find a way to get that communication through. So sometimes I've had people say, no, Hilary, I won't do the VIP. And I go, oh my gosh, that's okay. But I am going to ask you next time I see you or next time we talk because it's so jolly good. And they just have a little laugh at me, but I ask them again. Because obviously the way I communicated or what was going on for them that day, it wasn't they weren't receptible to the idea. So I make sure I'm giving myself another opportunity to communicate with them so that they are maybe in a more receptive mood or, be having a better day. So communication is our responsibility. It's not the listener's responsibility. So it's never good enough to say, well, I told them, but they didn't listen. That's never good enough. Okay. So just wanted to say that. I know, right? We'd love it if that wasn't the case, but that is the case. So rewards beauty workshop, I find reasons to stay connected. I add them to my social media, our beauty group where we do weekly beauty class and run our promotions and do beauty training and product training. And I send them the next brochure as well. So soon we will have the June brochure, and I would send them the June brochure, probably a sample of the oil, the new night regeneration oil as well. I would send them that with a little note saying, oh my gosh, you've got till the end of, if they're April joiners, you've got till the end of May to get your rewards. Can I help you? So I'll touch point again, follow that up. Did you get the new brochure? What do you think of the new oil? That sort of thing. So lots of touch points. And I invite them to events, whether they're online Nutrimedics events or face-to-face events we may be running. So I invite them to events. So just, a little recap. How am I going? Oh, I'm right on time. So I don't know, can I scroll this up and see comments or not? I can probably see the chat here. Yeah, okay. Lots of Lena. Okay, I'm going to close that. Sorry, I'm back. So, really important to remember that you can't, to build a Nutrimedics business, sponsoring is key. And sponsoring is something that everybody can do. It's a skill set, and we can adapt it to suit your personality traits, so that don't feel like you're failing because you're shy, or your personality trait is that you're a night person and you don't want to be contacting people in the night, all those sorts of things. Let's not put those barriers up. So one of the things I had was lots of rules when I first started in my head about how things should happen. And I'd really love to encourage you to look at that and go, how many of these rules do I really need? So now I've become more of a safety, hygiene. They're two areas I won't negotiate on, but lots of other areas in my business where I have dropped the rules just so that I can work with my personality. And that might be working on a Sunday or whatever I need to do at this time to make my business work with my life and have that work-life balance. Now, to finish, I want to finish with the chicken story. And, the chicken story really came about because I want you to understand that if you've got 20 people in your team, it's a numbers game. So you'll get a certain amount of orders each month when you have 20, and the Nutrimedics have these figures. And so the only thing we can change in our business, so a third of your team roughly will order in any given month. So if you've got 21 people in your team and 7 people ordered in April, you are spot on target. You're not failing at sponsoring, you are on track, because that's what happens to all of us. So how do you get more orders in your team? What you do is you sponsor more people. So if you double the number of people in your team, you'll have 14 people sponsoring, not 7, ordering, not 7. So this is the chicken story. So if you're a chicken farmer, organic, free range, a chicken can only lay 1 egg a day. So how does a chicken farmer make more money? They can't squeeze more eggs out of the chickens they've got. They have to get a bigger chicken farm. They have to buy more chickens, because a chicken can only lay 1 egg a day. And with Nutrimedics, our team, they're only going to order a certain amount. And in my whole career in Nutrimedics, these figures have barely changed. The average order is around 250 to 270. This is on my memory, and the average percentage is 30%. So the only things you can change are the size of your team. So the bigger your team, it's like the chicken farmer, the more chickens in your business, the bigger your turnover and the more your business will grow. So really interesting, the chicken story. I am the chicken lady, let's face it. And I hope that's helped you. There's just, whatever your personality is, just back-to-back sponsoring with a purpose. What's your purpose? And your purpose is to get people to move through that funnel. So not that you want them ordering, you want them having a rewards party, and you want some of them going on to be group leaders and beyond. So that's a whole nother story. Oh yeah, you love that, Laura. Thank you, the chickens. So that's a whole nother making a difference session, is developing group leaders. So I hope that's been helpful. I think Louise is going to jump back on if she's there, and I'm not sure. We'll give Louise a minute.
I certainly am going to jump back on, Hilary, and I'm just going to, I think Adam said I hover over gallery. Oh, that's so good. And let me just hover over gallery again, and I can do something or other. And no,
Just
I'm supposed to be able to make us side by side. Speaker. That's all right. We'll just both talk.
Thank you, Louise. I will go over to you.
Okay, thank you, Hilary. That's wonderful. Oh, just loved your presentation, Hilary. And I've written down one of the things that really is a huge takeaway for me is Nutrimedics is an amazing, amazing club to be part of. I just love that sentence, and I would ask everyone to write that down. Nutrimedics is an amazing, amazing club to be part of. And it is repeating the amazing that just shows the passion from Hilary. And I'm a big believer that when you share your passion, when you share your authentic self with people, they will respond in a very positive way. Every message you said, Hilary, was just absolutely brilliant. You have mastered your craft. There is no doubt about that. And it's just repeating that sponsoring, repeating your numbers month after month. And remember, a third are coming into the business, a third are staying, a third are going. And the more touch points you have with them and the more communication you have with them, the more that will stay. I also love Hilary's story, and I didn't remember this, that you joined 3 times. I remember doing a skit one year with Sandy McDonald, and I said, she asked me some silly question. And I said, oh, well, most people have to join 3 times before they get it. Love it. Hilary, I know that you are on track for Madrid. I can't wait to share that amazing experience with you in Spain. It will be an incredible seminar, and I am asking everyone online to dream big. Hilary, myself, Annette, Mimi, Sandy is online that I can just see at a glance. We just, Lena, we just dreamed big, and we didn't necessarily dream big when we first started. It was because there was a mentor, a role model, our upline, someone who believed in us and or talked about the trips and the cars and looked amazing. And for me, that was Terry and Alf Jones and Vicky Reeve. And for you, it was our gorgeous friend, Monica Fafita. I know. You were sponsored personally by Monica that 3rd time, or probably the 2nd time as well. But those girls were wonderful, wonderful leaders. I call them girls, but they weren't girls. They were, Terry joined when she was 43. Ruth Farrell joined, I think, when she was 41. So Vicky joined when she was 19, didn't know what she was doing. So you don't have to know what you're doing either. You just have to keep learning the skills. And the other thing that Hilary did say lots of times is you don't have to be the same personality as someone else that you can see. Hilary and I are such different personalities, but in many ways, our business brain is quite similar. Even though I put my business brain on for nighttime, Hilary puts her business brain on in the morning. Hilary likes to be a processor at times and have her systems. I talk about systems, but my whole desk, my whole dining table is total chaos, but I know where everything is, so it doesn't matter. And I love that you brought that up, Hilary. That really is a new take on, and something a little bit different than so many of the other speakers have shared. And girls, guys that are on, the Creating a Bright Future is available by looking at the YouTube channels and by finding it on YouTube, either through Lee Aarons or through Adam Buchner. They like creating these YouTube things and putting them on. And Rick Buchner did it for me one time when I was down staying with him, and said, would you just put that on YouTube channel, Rick? And he said, well, Mum, I've never done it, but give me a moment. Gets on the phone, Googles how to do it. 5 minutes later, the YouTube video is done and on the system. So surround yourself with clever people. Anything you can't do yourself, delegate to somebody else. And if you got children and they want the great life, get them to help you. That's my motto. So I have an amazing, amazing presenter for you next month. And his name is Mr. Adam Buchner. He has been well trained throughout his nutrimenetics career. He's actually been well trained for the whole 33 years of his life. Not sure which part of the trainings he took on, but he's managed to put it all together and make it his own. And he is unique. He doesn't train the same as me, but he has some amazing information to share with you. And I think he's got the best of so many of the nutrimenetics people that he has been able to mix with in his life. So please join me first Thursday in June. But in the meantime, set your goals for May. Have you written your projection chart? Have you written your personal sales target? Hilary, I might put you on the spot for just a second. And what is your personal sales target for the month of May, Hilary?
4,000.
4,000. I could have actually guessed that. I didn't even need to ask it. What is your personal sponsoring goal for the month of May?
20.
20 personal sponsors. What is your group sales? And by that, I mean all of your downline.
Well, with my manager,
Yes.
40,000.
40,000, love it. And your group sponsoring with everyone, including your manager?
Yeah, 75.
75. Wow, you've got a good group there. Excellent. Group sponsoring 70.
I have a great manager, Helen.
You have. Very talented. And then number 5 in your projection chart is always, who are your hotties and what are you going to do with them? Now, you don't have to tell me who your hotties are, but that's part of your projection chart, everyone, those 5 parts. And I was on a great orientation today with my newest executive sales manager, Wendy Barrett. And those of you that are ESMs, she just went into your sales formula. What's it called, Hilary?
Sales growth formula.
Sales growth formula, that's it. And from that sales growth formula, Ashley is exactly like you, Hilary, and asked the question, who did you sponsor last month and what have you done with them? Who did you sponsor last month? What have you done with them? And what are you going to do next week? And what are you going to do in May? So I'm going to leave that with you. Who did you sponsor in April? What are you doing with them? Who are you going to sponsor in May? Or just how many? And what I've asked my beautiful new executive sales manager, Wendy, to do is to read that projection chart, to read it, to say it out loud every single day for the month of May. So it goes into her subconscious brain, and it can be as automatic for Wendy as it is for Hilary and I. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you are as motivated, passionate, and excited for this month as I am. Thanks again, Hilary. You were magnificent. Have a
Bye-bye.
magnificent month. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.